As a health coach, a lot of people are telling me that they feel their life is on hold during this COVID-19 crisis. They feel like nothing is progressing, except for one thing, their weight, and maybe their waistline. It keeps steadily increasing every day. And that's understandable because so many of us have reduced our activity levels during this time. We're spending more time at home. We're surrounded by the temptation of food to combat the effects of stress, anxiety, and boredom. And this is a real challenge for all of us. A few weeks ago, I took a COVID test. I filled out the application and I came down to the section where it asked me to check off some risk factors. And I noticed that one of those risk factors was obesity. And I felt so good that I didn't have to check that box. Because I know something about obesity. A couple of years ago, I was obese. And my body mass index was in the danger zone. I was at risk for diabetes and heart problems and blood pressure problems. And so I know from personal experience the negative effects of obesity or being overweight or not in really optimal health for wherever we are in our life. I also know about the positive effects of reclaiming that birthright that is our health. I know from a personal experience how much joy I got from being able to go out and play soccer with my 9-year-old granddaughter at 78. 78 for me, not her. Or run down the street with her and have a foot race. Even though she beat me, it was so gratifying to be able to do that. And so that's why I decided to become a health coach. Because I thought that at this stage of my life, if I wanted to help people, one of the best things I could do to help people was to help them reclaim that birthright that is vibrant health of waking up in the morning and feeling really good about yourself, whatever stage of life you happen to be in. So if any of this resonates with you, I'd love to have a conversation with you. That's all, just a conversation. There's no sales pitch. Most of us don't jump into change immediately without going through some very distinct stages. This has been carefully researched. And the first stage is what we call pre-contemplation. And that's when we're not even aware that we even need to make a change. We're not even thinking about it at all. And so when it comes to health, many of us are in that pre-contemplation stage. It's just not something that we're thinking about, and we understand that. But then we move sometimes into contemplation. We're all of a sudden, for whatever reason, we're more aware that maybe there's a need in our life that we should do something about. I can tell you what pushed me into contemplation. It was the mirror. I didn't like what I was seeing in the mirror. At that early stage, I wasn't thinking about the health benefits. I wasn't thinking about diabetes and blood pressure and all of those things. I just didn't like the way I looked in the mirror, and I didn't like the way I looked in photographs. And so that kind of pushed me into contemplation. I'm thinking about this now. I'm aware of it. And then from that step, we move into what we call preparation. And preparation is when we finally reach that point where we say to ourselves, I know I need to do something. I don't know what it is yet, but I can feel it internally. I've made the decision to do something about this. And then eventually we move into taking some action and making that decision. And for some of us, we go through it just like that. Others, it can take literally years to go through those stages. But if you're concerned at all about your health, and if you're in that contemplation stage where you're becoming more aware that perhaps you should do something about it, then I want to give you 3 easy, no cost, no obligation, no commitment things you can do today, maybe to take a first step in the right direction. Number 1, you can message me and we'll set up a brief call and just have a conversation. That's all. We'll just talk about where you are right now and where you'd like to be at some point in the future. Sometimes for many people that conversation is enough to move into the next phase, but it's not an obligation. The second thing you can do if you're not ready to have that conversation is to message me and request a copy of our free ebook called Stop, Challenge, and Choose, written by Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, which is packed full of information about how to lead a more vibrant and healthy life, especially as we progress into midlife and beyond. Now, if none of those two options seem to work for you, a third option might be to come over to my Facebook group called Health and Happiness in Midlife and Beyond, and join that group. And I curate tons of information every day about health and happiness in midlife and beyond. Because really, that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about being happy. And I found out from my own personal experience that it's a lot easier to be happy if we're feeling good about ourselves, we're feeling good about our health, and we have the energy to do the things that we want to do every day. So I would love to talk to you. I hope I have that opportunity, but I hope this short video has caused you maybe to think about a couple of things that maybe need to be thought about. This is Pat Whitty with Chapter 4 Coaching. Looking forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.